Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. So that wave ocean went absolutely fucking nowhere like last time. It's time to go talk to this lady in waiting who's telling us that in order to get to the next area of the game, we need to pass Sogliato's test because Sogliato's police force is doing such a good job. You know, you just can't let me get up there by myself, but anyway, it's time to visit the shop again, and now we can finally invest into the gems, and now the real fun begins. So for starters, let's look at the green gem. The green gem allows Sonic to do this flare of doom. It's a whirlwind, basically. It also has deceptively long range, but I'll get into that later. The blue gem, it inherits Sonic with the dash pad god powers. Or I should say, it inherits Sonic with the powers of the dash pad god. You know, you press the R trigger to get a short burst of speed, and Sonic will go skyrocketing, where the controls are even worse, and you'll most likely or not run into something. Hey, it's one of my subscribers. No, I'm kidding. Now, this is Sonic Man. This is another side mission we're about to do right now. This is actually one of the easiest side missions, whether or not you have the gems or not. I'm serious. This guy is a total joke. The whole stipple is that he thinks he's the real Sonic. Obviously not. So you need to prove him wrong and beat him to the race to the finish. But now we're going to showcase the red gem, which, well, if you're familiar with Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, it's kind of like the inverted Song of Time, only this thing slows down everything. I'm kidding. With the power of the red gem, everything slows down. The environment, enemies, objects, the timer, everything slows down tremendously. But of course, I don't want to just abuse the red gem. I want to use the blue gem to beat this guy's ass easily, and that's the end of the side mission. So now he knows that we're the real Sonic. I wish there was an option to tell him to take off that ridiculous fucking hat. Yeah. But who am I to say? I'd probably be wearing that shit too if I had it in my closet. But anyway. So, you might have noticed that I was abusing the hell out of the blue gem. And I was able to abuse the hell out of the red gem, and the green gem seemed to be doing just fine. You may be wondering, why exactly can I use all these gems at my leisure with no consequence to me? Well, you see, you may have noticed at this point that meter on the bottom right of the screen has been glowing. It's certainly catching our attention, but it hasn't really done anything in this entire playthrough. Well, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Now it's time for my least... This is my most hated side mission in the entire game. For all the wrong reasons. This is Aristo. I guess it's a play on Aristotle, so I'm just going to call him Aristotle. This is Aristotle's challenge. This side mission is pretty simple. He shows you a collection of boxes. You simply need to guess how many boxes there are. You see, there's the boxes right here. Looks about to be 4. Yeah, you can pause the game to, stop the timer and count the boxes at your leisure. The timer won't go down while the game's paused. So after you figured out how many boxes there are, you talk to him again. Then you choose your answer. In this case, it's 4. Then he tells you if you're right or wrong. Round of applause. Yes, that was the right answer. But now, we have to... this is pretty much the entire side mission. Now, you're probably wondering, what's so bad about this mission? It doesn't look that bad. Well, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that every time the screen fades to black and you see that screen right there, I'm editing out a 20-second load time. 20 seconds later, he tells you if you're right or wrong. 20 seconds later, guess the boxes. 20 seconds later, you give him your answer. 20 seconds later, right or wrong. 20 seconds later, it's the same thing. This is the side mission where you're going to really hate the load times. I cannot stress that enough. This is the side mission where you absolutely fucking despise the load times. Now, the only thing I could recommend is that you have the game installed on your the hard drive, to make it 20 seconds to 15 seconds. I'd rather have no load times, to be perfectly honest. But I cannot stand this side mission. It took everything inside me not to skip this side mission, but like I said, it's 100% run. I'm doing everything except for silver medals. And, well, if you want the answer, like, straight up, the answer to a solution is 47999. That's the sequence you should be giving to him. It's just... Oh, with the load times, this mission is such a pain in the ass, because it just drags on and on and on and on. I hate it because of that, but I think you guys already know that at this point. Now, what I was getting to earlier, the meter on the bottom right of the screen was supposed to limit Sonic's use of the power gems. But they never coded it properly to work with Sonic. That's right, the meter on the bottom right of the screen does nothing for Sonic. It is completely pointless. Sonic can use the gems as much as he wants with no consequence to you whatsoever. You can constantly mash the R trigger to get boosts of speed from the blue gem. You can slow down time indefinitely with the red gem. You can perform as many whirlwind kicks as you want with the green gem, and so on and so forth. Game breaking doesn't even begin to describe what the gems are thanks to the meter not being properly coded right. The meter is properly coded with silver. The meter is properly coded with shadow. How do you fuck this up? How do you forget to code it with Sonic? It's ridiculous. Now, some of you may be wondering exactly why am I not going after all the silver medals. I'm pretty sure I covered this earlier, but, well, let's say that for later, because now we have to, in order to get to the next stage, we need to do the Trials of Sogliato, aka the most pointless point of the entire story in Sonic's mission. There are 3 trials, they're pretty much side missions anyway, because you get ranked for all of these. There's a trial of intelligence, there's a trial of courage, and there's the trial of love, I think. Yeah.
Touching a warp hole will send me far away in a flash.
The test of intelligence is just trial and error. You have to jump through the right specific warp points in order to get to the goal ring. Every time you see a numbered box in the next sequential order, that means you're going the right place. But ladies and gentlemen, even though I've completed this mission in about 13 seconds, it took me fucking forever to memorize that pattern. When you're first playing this mission, you're going to absolutely hate it. Because one of the biggest pain in the asses with that side mission is that Sonic's not kidding when he says when you're touching a warp point, you'll send you far away in a flash. It is instantaneous. So instantaneous that Sonic keeps his momentum upon going from one warp point to another, which means you're most likely not going to have the camera in a position that you can't see where you're going to land, or your momentum's just going to carry you off the fucking treetops, and it's really annoying. But now it's time for the second test. This is this test of courage, which is you're just simply killing all of Eggman's mechs, but now you don't have any rings. So that means if you die, you gotta sit through a 20-second load screen for the guy to tell you fucked up, no shit. 20 seconds later, you're back in the hub world, talk to him again, 20 seconds later, it tells you the objective, 20 seconds later, you're back in the mission. Do not die. In fact, do what I'm doing right now. Use the red gem, slow down everything, use that chaos control like no one's business, and defeat all the enemies with ease. It really is a much easier mission with the red gem. Anyway, so let's go back. Going back into silver medals. Now, I know I probably covered this earlier, but like I said, each stage that every character can go through has a total of 10 silver medals that you can collect. The hub worlds themselves also have silver medals that you can collect. I'm not exactly sure what the total is, but the only point of silver medals is to get a gold medal, which you remembered, as I said earlier, are fucking pointless. The only point of getting gold medals in this game are for achievements, something that's not even related to the game itself. You just get achievements for it. It's the biggest waste of time. Now granted, one of my long-term goals in the long run is to get every achievement in every Sonic game for the 360. And, you know, I'm gonna have to buckle down and get all the gold medals anyway, but, you know, that's only because I'm an achievement whore. But in terms of, like, in-game unlockables, there is no incentive for getting any of the gold medals, the silver medals, any of that. Nothing. I hear there was going to be, like I think I recall saying that you can unlock, you know, secret difficulties, or you can unlock a free mode where you can control any character and do any stage you want. That would have been cool. But that's not the case. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. That's it. I managed to talk through the entire test of courage. It's good. So, okay, test of courage is done, but now it's time for the most pointless test of the Trials of Sogliato. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the test of love. Now, what are you doing in a test of love? It's simple. You have to make a choice. You have an ultimatum of... No, it's not even an ultimatum because nothing happens. You have to choose between Princess Elise or Amy Rose. Princess Elise is on the left, Amy Rose is on the right. You simply choose which one you want to go to.
You'll choose me, won't you, Sonic? I'll be waiting over to the right.
Then you jump in the warp point, and there you go. That's the end of the mission.
Sonic, you came!
You talk to the guy, he asks you if this is the one you really want to choose, hit yes, and boom, easy S rank. There is no point to this mission whatsoever. No matter who you choose, the result's still the same. It has no effect on the story whatsoever. That guy is totally lying out of his ass. That's it.
That was incredible.
Now, which one you choose, that's up to you. Personally, I like to pick the more sensible choice of Amy Rose. If you want to pick Princess Elise, maybe you see something in this sick relationship that I don't, go right ahead. I'm not going to get into that whole discussion. It's not even going to waste my breath. But anyway, so we're riding the Eagle of Justice to the next stage, and Tails was already up here. I'm sorry. The days of Marble Garden and Carnival Night are over. By the power of cannabis!
You look like you're in a hurry. So, what's going on? Circumstances have changed. I need to rescue the princess.
It's amazing how Sonic does not hold any grudges whatsoever. It's kind of like Goku, to be perfectly honest. Okay, well, seems like someone knocked some sense into Silver, or something happened in Silver's head. I guess Shadow gave him the beating of his lifetime. And, you know, Silver's now on our side. So, with that said, it's time to go into what's probably one of Sonic's longest levels in the entire game. This is Kingdom Valley. This is the level, actually, that, for all those that played the demo of the game, this is the level that you were able to play in. You're only the first part of the stage, because the stage in total has like about 4 parts. But actually, in terms of like seeing how much of a change they went from the beta to the final product, this level is the definitive level you want to compare them to. I mean, if you go out of your way on YouTube and search for like the E3 versions of Sonic 2006, there were a lot of elements changed from the beta to this quote-unquote finished product that you just wonder, like, what the hell happened? Like, one of the biggest things that immediately come to mind is, like, when you're in the E3 build of Sonic 06, whenever you like entered a grind rail or during the Mach Speed section, the camera would like zoom a little backwards, which to me kind of like gave it the illusion that you're moving really fast while on a grind rail, or moving really fast during the Mach Speed section. You know, there were also a lot of little cool like particle effects, like you know, there's like puddles of water all over the floor, like cool little splash effects, all kinds of little neat little detail like that the E3 build of Sonic Kingdom Valley had. But none of that's here. None of that's here. It's all gone. I don't get how that works. Usually, like I mentioned earlier, when you're showcasing something at E3, it's usually a beta build, at least an alpha build. But for the finished product, they removed shit. That's totally ass backwards. I do not get that at all. But then again, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like this game, myself included. It's because of fucked up shit like that. You can actually use the bounce brace to get to that rainbow ring just easily, you know, just in case you miss it on your first go. You just, you know, bounce brace is your best friend. But Kingdom Valley in itself, I really don't have a strong opinion about this level. Like I said, it's one of Sonic's longest, and there are times where I can't help but feel there's a bit of padding, like these grind rail sections here, like you're actually grinding on air. I don't know how that works, but I can't help but feel that sometimes they just have too heavily relied on these grind rails because they couldn't think of any more competent level design. I mean, the first half of Kingdom Valley is very non-linear. There are a lot of ways to get from point A to point B, and I like that, but, you know, most of the time you're end up just gonna take in the grind rail section, which is not really that interesting, to be perfectly honest. When you get to the Eagle, it's time for the other part of Kingdom Valley. But now we're introduced to the newcomer.
I'll go on ahead.
Okay, so now we're finally controlling Silver the Hedgehog, and as we've seen from past cutscenes, and he's on the verge of killing Sonic, this guy uses psychokinesis, his telekinetic powers, to manipulate objects, bend steel like that. You know, the main method of attacking is, you know, you have to pick up shit with Silver psychokinesis and throw them at enemies. Silver at no point in this entire playthrough will look as strong as he does in cutscenes. He won't be able to fly. He won't be able to, you know, throw Hadoukens and shit like that. No, it's a real big letdown, actually. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about Silver when we actually start playing him, because he is the next person I'm going to be conquering after we finish Sonic's story. Speaking of which, Sonic's story is almost done. I think we should be done by, if not the next part, then the part after that, definitely. But anyway, Silver's not very fast. In fact, he does have this cool little hovering ability, and you can use Silver's psychokinesis to grab enemy projectiles like that missile I just grabbed right there, and that right there. Booyah. But since this section with Silver really isn't that long at all, so I think it's best off if we just wait until we actually get to Silver's playthrough to, you know, go into more detail with him. I will say that I do like Silver as a concept, but again, they fail to capitalize on a lot of things, and I'll get more into that when we start exploring Silver's gameplay. Until then, I think this is a neat way to get him introduced to the character, even though he has his own separate story. But regardless, it's not very long at all. In fact, after we psychic bitch slap these robots here, I think we'll be able to take control of Sonic once more. And at this point, we don't have any of Silver's upgrades, so we have to rely on that psychic bitch slap in order to stun enemies. And I do like how you can stun enemies, and you know you can grab them with the psychokinesis to throw them at other enemies. There's something satisfying about that. I can't quite put my finger on it. You know, something also satisfying of grabbing enemies' missiles and lunging them back at them. I like that. Again, it's a neat concept, but it just feels unfinished. I think this is the end right here. Yeah, I can see the eagle over there, which means Sonic is just beyond the stairwell. And that wasn't very long.
Not bad.
I don't get that. Like, Sonic was here the entire time. Why did we even need to switch to Silver to begin with? He's nowhere near Silver. I don't see Silver anywhere. Sonic could have grabbed this eagle from anywhere. Oh yeah, speaking of eagles, actually, I didn't show it off earlier in the level, but the moment the first part of Kingdom Valley begins, there is actually this eagle you can homing attack onto to send you. It's a pretty big shortcut, and it also leads you to a bunch of ring boxes. I didn't show it off myself because I just figured out it was there while I was researching some of the Sonic 06's E3 footage. Which, you know, if you guys are interested, I will, like, you know, if you don't feel like searching the videos yourself, I can, like, make a comparison video and like an extra video if you guys want me to do that. I'd be glad, just to show you guys just how much was changed and what was taken out, even though this is considered a finished product. And to any of those that were curious, yes, I touched that rainbow ring and nothing happened. I heard the sound effect. That means that, you know, that means Sonic came into contact with it, but I didn't go anywhere. It's excellent programming. There's the green gem at work there. Yeah, you see, you don't need to touch enemies with the whirlwind itself. It has a deceptively large range. I think it's like the total radius of the whirlwind is like 3 times the size of the whirlwind itself. You know, that's good and all, but I kind of wish the whirlwind was just a little bigger to signify that. This part's a little annoying too because the camera is a bit wonky at this section. You have to homing attack on these ropes in order to climb this tower. It's not too bad, but, you know, especially here we have to homing attack on these trail of rings. Ow. I totally wish there was some kind of painful reaction shot from Sonic. He just went like face first into the pane of glass. I'd feel that. I feel that every time he does that. It's around here, though. This is where we start getting one of Kingdom Valley's most automated sections. Yeah, Kingdom Valley can be pretty automated at times. Like I already mentioned, the grind rails earlier. This part right here in particular, too. You know, I sure like to be in control of all this, but no, I can't control Sonic while he's doing all this. Except for, like, the jumping to pillar to pillar. You see, look, that jumping from pillar to pillar looks good. It's not like he's entering his T-pose and being pulled by an invisible rope there. He was actually spinning there. If only he did that during the Mach Speed sections. It looked so much better, but that's not the case. Like a lot of things in this game. You know, because I have been getting questions from a lot of you guys like, so you hate the game so much, why are you LPing it? Well, it's because you haven't figured it out by now. This is the game the subscribers wanted me to play. Like, granted, I don't think Sonic 06 is the worst game ever made. No, I've played much, much worse. But it's, in terms of, like, the Sonic games, it's definitely one of the most disappointing. And, no, I don't think... I honestly do not think Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 is the worst Sonic game ever made. In fact, I know a lot of you already know where I'm going with this. And yes, I firmly believe, I honestly, honest to God believe that Shadow the Hedgehog is the worst title. The worster of the two. Is worster even a word? I don't even know. Now, why exactly? You gotta give me some time on that, because I'm trying to think of every single reason why I do not like Shadow the Hedgehog over Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. But I've played this game a hell of a lot more times than Shadow the Hedgehog. I've enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 more than Shadow the Hedgehog, and to me that says something to me. What is wrong with Shadow the Hedgehog that I just don't want to be anywhere near the game? But I'm gonna need some time to work on that. Month of Sonic 3. No, sorry. That's prone to happen to me sometimes. This section right here, after you kill the rest of the mechs, a fuck ton other mechs suddenly appear. You're supposed to just leave this area at this point. Though right here, I'm trying to be a fucking hero and trying to use the green gem, but it's not doing anything. All because these enemies take more than one hit to kill. If these enemies were any smaller, the green gem would probably work wonders there, but it didn't. But now it's time for the final area of Kingdom Valley, and this is the final Mach Speed section in the entire game. And to a lot of people, this is their favorite one. I agree that I do like the look of this Mach Speed section, but if you've seen the E3 footage and the beta footage, you know this area was a hell of a lot more pretty to look at, and oh god damn it, that jumping from pillar to pillar animation just bothers the hell out of me. And again, like in the E3 footage, when Sonic was in that footage, when Sonic was jumping from pillar to pillar in this Mach Speed section, he would actually, curl into a ball and then stick his feet out as if he's getting ready to brace himself for the landing. And to me, that just looked a hell of a lot more cooler. And more cooler. Yeah, it's causing me to be redundant, ladies and gentlemen. That's how much better I thought it looked. But now he just I'm spreading my wings and fly away. Fly like an eagle, Sonic. Sonic's going towards the wall. Gold ring saved him just in time. And imagine if the gold ring wasn't there, that'd be a pretty painful ending. But alas, that is the end of Kingdom Valley, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done Sonic's scenario. We still have one more level to go before we get to the final boss. So until then, here's a picture of the gold medal. Absolutely pointless. And see you guys for part 9.